What are you doing?
How you mean? What am I doing?
You're following officers out.
Which I following? Which following?
What are you doing?
Which following? Which officer?
You know quite
following? I was going to my car. I was going to my car. Don't try and come. Don't hold my hand. What you holding my hand for? What are you holding my hand for? What crime? What crime? What? Of course you touched my hand. What crime? What crime have I committed?
You're following police officers in there.
What crime have I committed, officer?
I'm going to ask you a question. Would you
what crime have I committed?
You followed a police officer.
Because I just recorded the police station for about a whole hour. Listen to. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you first. Let me talk to you first.
If you ask a question and respond, you need to
let me. No. Let me talk to you first, because this officer is telling a lie. I stand up there for a whole hour recording the police station. All right. I recorded her going to her car. I turned off my camera and I was walking to my car.
The officer stormed in, already convinced of guilt, accusing the auditor of following a female officer to her personal vehicle. A serious claim with absolutely no basis beyond her word. No investigation, no clarification, just instant escalation. When the auditor calmly explains that he turned off his camera and was simply returning to his own car, the officers ignore his account entirely. Their only charge, following an officer to her car, something that, even if true, isn't a crime. That alone shows how detached their actions were from lawful policing. They're trying to criminalize behavior just because it makes them uncomfortable, a tactic that dangerously undermines public trust. What's worse is how a fabricated or misinterpreted claim by one officer is enough to trigger this kind of response. The fact they didn't verify anything before cornering the auditor speaks volumes.
My car parked right there.
Do you want to get in your car and
you check me? How you mean?
Just doing at the moment,
bruv, I can't understand y'all, bruv. Y'all being despicable now.
No one's being despicable.
You being despicable. First thing you tell me. Sir, you are the first words you tell. Of course, I'm a hard-working man. Okay, so I pay taxes.
If I came to your place,
don't come and talk that crap, because you know better than the words you saying there now. The words you saying there now, you know better than the words you are saying there now.
Because we're police officers, it's okay that we're putting fear when
study in your
work, is it?
I study in your laws. You check me?
And
I study in your laws.
Where in our laws does it suggest that you're allowed to do what you're doing? Because I study the law as well. It's part of my job.
So I'm not allowed to record. I'm not allowed to record in public.
If you'd understand what I'm saying, and
am I allowed to record in public?
Not once has anyone mentioned the fact.
Am I allowed to record in public?
You're recording. Nobody's mentioned that.
That's what I was doing. So if I commit no crime yet.
Personally, I don't care if
I commit no crime yet. I recording you too.
When the officer asks where in our laws does it suggest you're allowed to do what you're doing, he's clearly leaning on the accusation made by the female officer, a baseless claim that the auditor was following her to her vehicle. But instead of investigating the truth of that claim, the officer leaps straight to moral judgment, as if the auditor needs a specific law permitting him to stand in public and film. Yet the officer ignores this entirely and doubles down by saying, "None of us mentioned you filming." That's a complete deflection. Recording in public was the only confirmed action the auditor was doing. It's the basis of the female officer's complaint and the entire encounter. By pretending that filming isn't the issue, the officer avoids addressing the real question. What crime exactly has been committed?
I commit no crime yet to have 4 policemen standing up in front of me. What you tell me first of all when you come out of the car was disrespectful.
No one's been disrespectful to you.
You didn't hear what you tell me when you come out of the car?
Your video back and we'll see
what did you tell me when you come out of the car, officer?
Despite the fact that you're behaving
you must be nicer than that man.
A very aggressive way.
You hear that? Because I talking to him, I being aggressive.
No.
I'm from the Caribbean, that's how I talk.
Oh, come on, that's got nothing to do with it.
What?
It's got absolutely nothing to do with it.
Right, okay.
The problem here is
you just decided to walk. Honestly, you just need to grow up a little bit.
You hear him? I need to grow up a little bit.
You do, mate.
I'm older than you.
You do.
I have children your age.
Please act like it.
I have children your age.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're just
but
screaming
the way this guy approached me was wrong. What I do in here, get out of here. That's what you said when you came out of the car.
Evidently not.
Officer, you go ahead. You watch the video on my channel. When I drop it on my channel, just watch it. The words you said when you came out of the car put me in total. I behaving in a threatening way. Who have I threatened?
Accusing the auditor of behaving in a threatening way is not only untrue, it's a dangerous escalation tactic. At no point does the auditor threaten anyone. At most, He raises his voice in frustration, which, given the false accusation made against him and the dismissive attitude he's met with, is a completely human reaction. This is a common move used when officers are challenged and have no lawful ground to stand on. They reach for vague, subjective claims like threatening behavior to justify heavy-handed responses. But if this is what they consider threatening, then it raises serious concerns about how emotionally fragile some officers are being allowed to be in roles that demand composure and resilience. And in the context of the female officer's false report, if she truly felt intimidated by someone simply walking behind her in public, perhaps the issue isn't the auditor, but whether she is suited for a role that requires managing real conflict.
I threatened you, officer.
The officer that
Can
you
we
followed
speak to you?
Have I threatened you?
Listen, so you can explain it.
Yeah, explain.
So give us 2 seconds and
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
Without speaking
Yeah.
to me, please, alright?
Yeah.
What we've been told is that an officer has left the police station. You have said to me you were outside recording. Okay?
For a whole hour.
Let me finish, okay? That officer's walking back to her car where you have followed her with your camera out.
I
yeah?
never did that. That's a lie.
Your perspective, that's what
That's
we've
a
been
lie.
told, okay?
That
We've
never
been told
happened.
you- Not at the police
That
station.
never,
Over here.
that
or in the
never
car.
happened.
So what
You see that?
conclusion are
You
supposed to
see what she caused. What she caused there.
What I think
That
personally,
never,
is I
that
think you're
never
looking for a
happened.
bit of
But she
attention.
called
I
y'all.
don't think you're here to do anything. I hear you.
Bruv,
like
you
the
see
attention.
what happened
You
there?
like the
She
attention.
liked the attention
Yeah.
because I never recorded her.
So I'm talking about.
Because I never recorded her.
I'm talking about.
Because as soon as I sit down in my car, I see the police van reach there. I come out of my car and I walk there. I see her talking to y'all. So that never happened. So she called y'all for something that never happened.
Sir, but look at it like this, right? You've been outside the police station for a long
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're recording. You're doing
Yeah.
everything. But the issue is, a lone female. Let's forget the fact that she's a police
Yeah.
officer. A lone female has walked out down the road,
Yeah.
and you've walked in the same direction as her, recording. Or having
But
your
I
phone
wasn't
out.
recording. That's the thing,
Okay,
brother.
okay,
And she
granted.
called y'all and she tell y'all I was
granted.
recording.
Okay.
I had finished recording the police station
Yeah.
already. I was walking to my.
This officer's logic is deeply flawed and reveals a concerning bias. By saying, let's forget she's a police officer. The issue is that she's a lone female. He's essentially asking everyone to disregard the crucial fact that she is a trained professional in uniform, supposedly equipped to handle difficult situations. Policing is a role that demands confidence, resilience, and the ability to manage public interactions. Yet, this officer reduces her to civilian, in need of protection from someone doing nothing illegal. Even more absurd is the framing of the incident. He claims the auditor was following and recording her, when the auditor clearly and repeatedly states both before and after this comment that he was not recording and had actually turned his camera off. The narrative they're pushing isn't based on facts. It's based on assumption, presumption, and a desire to manufacture a justification for their actions.
I was walking to my car and she get threatened and she's a
That's fine,
policewoman.
but you have to look at it as well.
She's a policewoman and she gets threatened.
And you've seen her.
My behavior.
You've seen her.
You
walking out and
despicable
you've
officer.
Walked, you've walked.
Because
and
I have threatened nobody yet and I haven't been despicable or disrespectful to nobody yet. But you hear what you're saying?
But can you
I'm
see
being
how-
threatening.
But can you see how?
Bruv, just go on your business, bruv. Go on your business because you approached me wrong, first of all. That's why I defensive. I cannot talk to you. I cannot talk to you. You've been disrespectful from the way you come out of the car, from your manner of approach. Your manner of approach was wrong. Get out of here. What you doing here? Get out of here. Get out of here. You need to learn your job, bruv, and don't approach people the way you approach people, because that's why I vex. What you say, what you tell me when you come out of the car, get me vexed. You tell me get out of here, like I not paying taxes, like I not voting. The false report your officer make, the false report she make, the false report she make. You run up for the false report she make. Go away. She make a false report. You'd arrest me for a false report. That is what I'm trying to show you. You'd arrest me on a false report.
Well, the thing is, right now, you're still shouting.
Yeah, but I right, bruv. You hear what the man tell me, man? The man tell me get out of here, like I'm not a human being. Eh? Get out of here. Imagine I just come and I approach you. You're an officer. You could have come and approached me decently.
Yeah.
I would have talked to you nice. But when the man tell me get out of here,
Yeah.
I say get out of here. How you mean get out of here?
Right. Okay. Right. Listen. Yeah.
Bruv, I commit no crime.
We've all gotten off on the wrong foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not trying to have an
Bruv,
argument
I
with
come
you or
here to
anything.
bring
But
no
what I'm
argument.
trying to say
But
to
I
you-
saying she make a false report.
Okay.
She make a false report against me that not true. And that's how people getting themselves in trouble for something that never happened. You check me? That never happened. And she done call the police already and have the police running upon me like I do her something or I approach her in any manner or form or style. I never spoke to her.
The auditor has every right to be furious. A false report made by a serving police officer isn't just a harmless mistake. It's a deliberate act that could have led to an innocent person being arrested, charged, or even prosecuted when that officer claimed she was being followed. Despite the auditor clearly stating he wasn't, she weaponized her badge and credibility to paint a false story. If a trained police officer interprets someone walking in the same direction as threatening, she's clearly not equipped for the demands of her job. Policing involves real pressure and genuine threats. If she can't manage her emotions during a harmless encounter, how is she going to handle an actual emergency? This kind of poor judgment is exactly why retraining is essential. Officers must be able to tell the difference between discomfort and danger. And if they can't, they should look for another job.
I never talked to her. I never approached her. She was right up.
I know you're
bruv.
upset about the situation, but I just want us to keep it down.
And this man approached me like I was an animal, bruv.
As well, who might, feel some type of way about all the shouting and stuff. Okay, let's just try and keep it down and talk with one another. That's all it is. Yeah.
I like
okay?
you.
Let's just keep.
I like
it,
you.
Keep it
I like you so.
Us, yeah?
I like you so,
listen,
father.
Listen.
That man cannot approach me so, bruv. That's how that man approaching citizens.
Okay.
That's how that man approaching us as the public.
Yeah.
That right, brother.
And I understand the frustration, but ultimately, from our perspective, the issue is this female is
made a false report.
What we witnessed in this episode wasn't just a misunderstanding. It was a full-blown breakdown in proper policing. The entire encounter stemmed from a reckless and unjustified claim by a female officer who, despite having authority and training to handle tense situations, chose instead to report an innocent man for allegedly following her. But here's the thing. Even if she felt uneasy, she has a responsibility to distinguish between a genuine threat and a citizen lawfully exercising their rights. That's what training is for. If she can't do that without calling him back up and triggering a public ordeal, then serious questions need to be asked about her fitness for duty. At the very least, retraining is essential because the ripple effect of false accusation like this could have easily led to wrongful arrest, detention, or worse. The responding officers didn't de-escalate. They escalated. They approached with an attitude through accusations without evidence and pushed the narrative that the auditor was some kind of stalker. They completely ignored his repeated statements that he had stopped recording, was heading to his car, and had committed no crime. Instead, one officer tried to twist the situation by asking, "Where in the law does it say you can do what you're doing?" As if a citizen needs permission to walk down the street and record in public. That question alone exposed just how little he understood about the law he's meant to enforce. Even more concerning was the way they tried to reframe the situation to justify their actions. When they realized that they couldn't prove any actual offense had occurred, they pivoted to vague ideas of threatening behavior and causing distress. But let's be honest, the auditor didn't threaten anyone. He was annoyed, yes, but rightfully so. If officers are going to use their own discomfort or embarrassment as a basis for detention or criminal suspicion, then we're in dangerous territory. A public servant cannot claim to be distressed simply because a citizen knows their rights and refuses to comply with baseless demands. The icing on the cake was when another officer tried to frame the issue around gender, saying, "Let's forget she's an officer, she's a lone female," as if that overrides the auditor's legal rights. That logic is not only flawed, it's offensive. You can't forget she's an officer because her badge gives her power and responsibility. The auditor handled it brilliantly, calm when needed, assertive when pushed, and ultimately victorious. But not everyone knows their rights like this. And that's why we need people like him holding the line, keeping the cameras rolling, and challenging the system when it veers off course. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching.